All right. First of all, do not join a martial arts school if things like this happen on a daily basis or at all. Watch.
Leverage is a weapon. You can use it, or it can be.
Rồi, nó lượn lờ lại. Vẫn phải giữ an toàn cho mày. Tao phải làm chủ hết trong đó. Giờ vô eo cho bộ thử này. Trên đời này có được cái lộ vận động như vậy không?
Alright, everybody, happy Saturday. Got a Saturday off to work right now. So I wanted to make this video today about tips when joining a martial arts school, a martial arts studio. Now, these tips are not to choose what martial art to do. These tips are when you're actually gonna try one out, how to use it to your convenience. I made a short putting 5 easy steps, but I'll elaborate on them on this video. A little quick background. So when I started the martial arts about 20 some years ago, the martial arts school that I actually joined, when I first started, I did pass by it. I did go in and I asked questions about it. One of the biggest things, which would be my step one, is convenience. So when I first passed by that school, it was about maybe the closest one at that time, or the one that actually looked like a martial arts school. Back then, most martial art instructors, they would rent out a location, like in a community center, or partner with somebody else, so you wouldn't really know if there was a martial arts school there. The school I went to had its own building, and you would see the neon letters in the front, Martial Arts Academy. So whenever I would go to Mexicali, or my mom would drive by that area, or I'd walk by that area, I would always see it there. So it was probably about maybe 15-minute walking distance from where I lived. So the first one is convenience. But to elaborate, when I first joined that school, it actually wasn't because of the convenience. It was because I actually went over there to fight one of the students. So in my prior videos that I have, I talk about that, how I wanted to fight somebody there when I was in the 8th grade, and it wasn't until that summer that I actually went to go look for him over there, and instead of fighting him, I actually ended up joining. But again, the convenience of it was that it was walking distance. So that's number one, because if you're watching this video and you're under the age of 18, you don't have your own car, and you basically only get by through public transportation or by walking, then yeah, convenience is a really big thing when joining a martial arts school. Basically pickers can't be choosers, and another thing is that you're not really gonna know what martial art is good for you. When I first started, I always assumed I'd be joining a martial art like ninjutsu, not knowing that that's one of the martial arts you probably won't really find anywhere. And those who actually teach it or claim to teach it might not really teach it the way it's supposed to be taught. Plus, ninjutsu is more of a martial arts style that would be used by either a family in that martial arts style, or special forces that use the tactics of espionage. Because ninjutsu is really developed more for the feudal ages. Honestly, if you were to get in a fight with a ninja face to face, you assume that ninja already lost, because they're not supposed to be face to face with you in a fight. Again, don't want to trail off too much. So tip number 2, just flat out ask the martial arts school if they have free trial classes. Most of them do want your business, and they know that money's an issue, especially depending on how young you are. You're not gonna take that many risks investing money in a month's worth of classes if you can't handle the class. So ask the teacher there if they offer free classes. For example, the one where I went to, they offered 2 free classes, and then they were from Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, so you can choose which days of the week you'd want to join to give them a try. So that's number 2. Number 3, being that you're the one with the option to join the school, ask the martial art instructor if you can actually sit in for a week's worth of classes, just to find out what they do throughout the week, to see if it's a good fit for you. I doubt that most martial arts schools will say no to this. They do want your business. Obviously, you're not there to record. Don't pull out your phone, start recording. Just sit there quietly and watch the class. I think you'll have a good idea of what they do throughout the week just by a week's worth of sitting in. You'll probably be sitting in for 2 classes or for 3 classes. Some do like a Tuesday and Thursday type of thing, and some do like a full Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So that's number 3. Tip number 4, especially if you're already sitting into the classes, if you see somebody there training, and you go with them to school, or maybe you're older and you see somebody that you work with there, ask them how the classes are, what they do, what students are required to do when they join, the results that they've gotten, find out some positive or negative feedback of the school. Obviously, if the individual is still in their training, you're going to hear nothing but positive things. So that's tip number 4. Tip number 5 would be, go online and look at the online reviews. Now, here's the thing about the online reviews is that most of the time they're given by parents who have their kids in the martial arts school, or have taken out their kids from the martial arts school. Now, always be wary of the reviews when it comes to a martial arts school, because remember, in the martial arts, you're learning a tool that's going to help you defend yourself. So it's not always going to be in the best interest of the parent if their son or daughter is having to do a lot of hard work, if they're having to stay later to learn some extra punches, kicks, forms, because they're behind. They might not advance to the next level if they're not ready, and some parents don't like that. Nowadays parents want kids to get participation rewards, just for participating, which it's bullshit. I'm gonna share my thoughts on this, but honestly, you gotta teach your kids the difference between winning and losing. I have a job right now, and if I don't make my results, I'm not gonna get the full benefits of a raise or a bonus if I don't make my numbers, if I don't meet the goals, which that's the equivalent of losing. In order for me to make those goals, I have to know how to lose, and how to lose correctly, so that later on I can win. You teach your kids that it's okay to just participate. Well, guess what? They're gonna be participating their whole lives and complaining why somebody, you know, makes more money than them, you know, because they have better results, and they're gonna be like, well, that's not fair. I work in the same job. I mean, it is fair, you know. So, you know, sorry to break this out on you guys, but that is the truth. For those of you who stuck around and watched the rest of this video, you're gonna see, you know, my opinion on this. It's more of a honest opinion. But yeah, you know, so I don't really go by the reviews, because the reviews are usually what benefits the parents. Now, students, you know, that are participating, you know, are a student there, they're gonna give the best reviews, you know, to back up their school, especially because in the martial arts, you become really loyal to the place you train in. And if you see any negative feedback from students, it's because, you know, one, they could be honest and maybe the school is a bit crazy, and I'll talk about that right now. Or two, because they couldn't hack the training. They took it, you know, they got too sentimental when, like, the teacher, you know, used them as an example, didn't advance them. Maybe while they're doing their stances, kicked them in the bottom of the thighs to get them a bit lower, showed them a technique that hurt. You know, I mean, remember, you're learning a skill to fight, so you're gonna get hurt from time to time, because part of the training is fighting. You know, imagine our military, you know, gets trained to fight against you know, our opponents, and they can't take a punch, they can't take a hit, they don't know what it's like to be shot at, and then they go to war, and guess what happens? You know, well, one, they don't come back because they don't know how to fight. So it's just an example. But, you know, I'm always worried about these online reviews of martial arts school. I usually wouldn't look at them. I would probably go and talk to the teacher. If he seems a bit off, then maybe that's already a red flag. You know, you don't want to join a martial arts school that is actually trying to hurt you. That's one thing. I mean, you know, obviously, you don't want to be in danger when you're training. You do want to know what it's like to be on a receiving end of an attack and feel what that feels like. But obviously, you don't want, you know, to put your life in danger, your health at risk. That is a red flag, you know, for kids and for adults. You know, you go to a martial arts school and they're breaking your arms and legs and making you and leaving with your lip busted on a daily basis. Yeah, that's not good. You know, I mean, I've practiced martial arts, and I've had my thumb more or less dislocated, where I still feel weird with it. I've almost gotten blinded. I've been punched in the face. You know, I've had my jaw sore from being hit. I've had my ankle swollen from kicking, but all that has been through normal accidents of training. Not because somebody intentionally tried to hurt me, but because, you know, during training, those are the areas that you might get hurt. You know, I've had a fellow student, you know, clock me in the jaw, and I did not have my jaw tightened. I wasn't clenching on my mouthpiece. I wasn't paying attention, and yeah, of course I'm gonna feel that punch. I kicked a fellow student, and they blocked with their elbow by accident. You know, and you know, I hurt my ankle for about a few months. Me and my buddy were practicing with staffs, and the staff broke from his end, and the piece hit me in the eye. So, you know, that did damage my eye for a few weeks. This thumb here happened when I was trying to do a sweep, and I left my thumb on the floor and kind of just twisted around it. So again, accidents will happen, just the way accidents will happen in a real fight. But, you know, nobody was trying to hurt me when I was training. That's a fact. My martial arts school, you know, we did train to be elite, but we weren't trying to kill each other. So your questions, your comments, you know, share your feedback with me. But these are my 5 tips when joining a martial arts school, especially if you don't know what martial art is good for you. Convenience, is it to your convenience? Number 2, do they have free classes that you can try out? Number 3, can you watch the class to see if you know, it's a good fit for you? At least a week's worth of training. Number 4, ask a friend, ask a fellow student who's training there. And number 5, again, be wary, but the online reviews, the Yelp reviews, you know, the Safari reviews of that martial arts school. All right, guys, have a great day. Hope this video helps out.